This is a mystical story designed for background listening while you go about your day. Let your imagination drift as you listen. The Fog Watcher of Hollowmere. In a forgotten corner of the world, where maps fade into swirls of mist and silence hums louder than words, there is a village called Hollowmere. Hollowmere isn't on any GPS, and no road signs point to it. Most who live nearby believe it's a rumor, a tale told by old men with too many evenings and too much whiskey. But those who have been to Hollowmere, well, they don't talk about it, not anymore. The village is surrounded by forests that never lose their autumn colors, and a lake so still it reflects the stars even during the day. But it's not the beauty that draws whispers, it's the fog, thick, silver, and always watching. The villagers speak of a figure who appears in the fog, a tall silhouette in a long coat and wide-brimmed hat. No one has ever seen the face beneath that shadowed brim. They call him the Fog Watcher. He doesn't speak, he doesn't move, he simply watches from the edge of the mist. At first, newcomers believe it's an illusion, a trick of light or tired eyes. But then things begin to happen. Objects go missing. People begin to hear soft breathing in the fog right outside their doors, breathing that isn't their own. One such newcomer was Elena, a freelance writer looking to escape the noise of city life. She rented a cottage on the edge of Hollowmere, right beside the lake. The locals warned her, gently at first, not to wander after sundown. She thought it was superstition. The first night, she noticed how unnaturally quiet the village was. No crickets, no wind, just silence and fog. On the third night, as she typed by candlelight, her screen flickered. Outside, the fog pressed against the windows like a living thing. Curious, she stepped outside. The air was thick, cold, and heavy. Across the path, just beyond the first trees, stood the Fog Watcher, still, facing her. She didn't move, neither but he. Then, just as suddenly, he was gone. The next morning, her laptop wouldn't turn on. Her phone was dead, though it had charged all night. She walked into the village to ask for help, but no one opened their doors. Only one elderly woman nodded toward her and whispered she thought it was a prank, maybe some strange folklore. But the Fog Watcher appeared again that night, closer this time, just at the edge of the porch. Still silent, still staring, she tried to speak, to ask what he wanted, but her voice caught in her throat like mist made solid. No sound came out. By morning, the air inside her cottage smelled of lake water and old leaves. Her mirror had fogged, but not from heat. On the surface, written in the mist, was a single word: stay. She packed her things. She was ready to leave, but the roads were gone. No, not gone. Lost. Every direction led her back to Hollowmere. Her car wouldn't start. Her maps showed blank white space where roads used to be. The village had sealed itself like a closed book. She started hearing things. Whispers in the walls, soft tapping on the windows, footsteps circling the house but never coming in. Each night, the Fog Watcher came closer, until finally, one night, he stood inside her living room. He didn't move. She couldn't either. The candlelight flickered wildly, and for a brief second she saw his face, as if the fog had formed a shape but forgot to become human. She blacked out. When she woke, she was back in her bed. Everything was normal. The sun was out, birds chirped. The fog was gone. Her laptop worked again. Her phone had signal. The roads were open. Hollowmere looked like any other quiet village in the countryside. She left. She never looked back. Months later, safely in her apartment, Elena wrote an article about Hollowmere. It went viral. Readers dismissed it as fiction. A few said they'd heard of Hollowmere too, or had dreams of endless fog. One message, anonymous, read only. He saw you. You shouldn't have written this. Then came the fog. Not outside, but inside. Her mirrors began fogging up even when the air was cold. She found wet footprints on her hallway floor. Her reflection moved half a second slower than she did. And one night, just as she drifted to sleep, she heard breathing beside her bed. Slow, measured, not hers. She never opened her eyes again.